Hello everyone, welcome to my Overwatch 2 UI case study video. Today we'll be exploring on how I created this user interface in the Unity game engine. So let's get started. As you can see, we have a character here doing an action pose, and I have several cameras placed around this character. It is inspired by the Genji mythic skin in the Overwatch 2 Season 1 main menu, where they showcase the skin for the said character. So as you can see, I have 3 cameras. 2 of them use a dolly track to create smooth movements, and the third one just focuses on the character model. As you can see in the timeline director component, you will see the animation play out. This is the first camera. As you can see in the left view, the camera is moving using a dolly tracker. And then we have the second camera and our final third camera. So if you press play, you'll see this happening. The timeline director is a very useful component to use. You can create many cinematic shots such as this, or even cutscenes. As we are approaching the final camera, finishing its animation, we're going to go ahead and check out what each of these buttons do. So we have play, heroes, shop, and battle pass. So all of these serve a purpose except for the battle pass button. I didn't get around to implementing anything for it. I will look into doing that in the future. So for now, we're going to go ahead and click on the heroes button. It will fade to black and lead us to the hero gallery. I am going to dock this over here so we can get a full view of it. Okay, so we have the tank area, damage, and support. I used horizontal and vertical layout groups to create these evenly. As you can see, I'm going to go on canvas, hero gallery, and then I have a bunch of folders here, tank, damage, support. On the right side, you can see I used the layout groups to space them out. I'm going to hover over these buttons here, and they display correctly. As you can see, none of these overlap with each other in an incorrect way. The way I've done this with a little script, so that each of these buttons, whenever the mouse hovers over the UI element, it will set them as the last sibling. So basically, I just use transform.lastSibling to make this happen. As you can see, if we go to tanks, open it up, you'll see on the left side the hierarchy moving around. So if I hover over this one is called button and in brackets 1, and this is button 0. You can see they switch places on the left side. Basically, the way it works in the children of a hierarchy, whichever object is the last one will appear in front. There's a really useful bit of code here, and it helps make things look clean. So we're gonna go ahead and click on this green colored button here, which will lead us to our prototype hero. And here we go. We can even go back. It'll lead us to the previous user interface. And we can go back again to the hero. All right, now we're gonna go over the cosmetic options for this prototype hero. On the left, we have all the options such as skins, emotes, victory poses, highlight intros, and so on. And on the right, we have hero information and challenges. The challenges button does nothing. However, the hero information button does. So let's go explore that now. Once we click on that, we'll get a new user interface. The camera moves down, and then the interface fades in. We can see all this stuff here. As I slowly zoom out, you can view this in 2D. As you can see, I have laid out every single element in the Unity game engine. It was not made in Photoshop. I laid out everything in here. May not be the most effective way, but it was a good challenge to do. So as you can, we have the title, we have the name for weapons, we have images, icons, information, text, all that good stuff over here. Abilities, buttons, and so on. Basically, it's just placeholder information, nothing real. It's just for demo purposes. If we click on the OK button, it will take us back like so. It'll fade out, and the camera will move back to its original position. So now we'll explore all these cosmetic options. So we're going to click on skin. And then we can go back. For example, if we were exploring any of these options, we can go back anytime. And it will take us to the previous state. And if we click on weapons, it'll work no matter what button we select. Now we're going to explore the cosmetic options. So first we're going to go over the skins. So the one that you're looking at right now is the default skin. Second, we have this one. And third, this one. Now we're going to move on to the emotes. So we have the wave emote. And then we have the dance emote. And the default was the one that you saw in the beginning. And here we're going to look at some victory poses. We don't have anything for highlight intros or souvenirs. And now we arrive to the weapon charms. We have 1, 2, and 3. And then we have sprays. These are just some images. And there's nothing for voice lines or weapon camos. So if we want to look at how I have set this up, I'm going to dock this view again. And we're going to look in the scene view as well. So we have cosmetic options, and then laid out a vertical group. And we have a mini view. So the mini view is the one when you click on a button or one of these cosmetic options, we get this view. By mini view, we have these icons, and the text to represent the icons are gone. And now we have options to select the cosmetic options. So as you can see on the hierarchy, the cosmetic mini view is currently active, and the regular cosmetic options is not. So if we click on the back button, you'll see that one's active again, and this is disabled. And we're going to quickly go through the cosmetic mini view. Each button has enable and disabling game objects. So basically, each of these buttons act like a folder and whatever they contain. So for example, the skin folder has this background panel and the buttons it contains to change the skins. So if we head over to the right side in the inspector properties, you can see we're enabling and disabling all of these options: skins, emotes, victory. So if we go over the emotes button, we select that, you'll see the skins panel is not active anymore, the emotes panel is, and so on and so forth. So click on victory poses active now, the rest are disabled. Okay, now we're going to explore the shop menu. Okay, here we are in the shop system. As you can see, we have a bunch of bundles here. They're just buttons, and we can scroll through them. The way I've done this is through Unity's scroll rect component. So if we go towards the canvas, oops, a little too fast, we can look at the shop system game object over here and the scroll rect component. So all the content is located over here, and there's a bunch of buttons. I have 8 of them. The scroll rect component handles all of that, and to contain them in a rectangle area, we have a mask 2D applied, so it cuts off any content while scrolling, and we have a scroll bar that can handle all that. Go back to the game view, we can see that again. This is the mask 2D happening over here and at the bottom as well. We have a bunch of tabs up here. They don't do anything at the moment, but you can hover over them, and you can hover over these buttons. There's a slight animation where they enlarge a bit. So we're going to go ahead and click on bundle 1, and we can view the skin. You can use the left mouse button to click and drag to view the skin. And once you're done doing that, you can click on this purchase button. It'll take you back to the shop menu. And that's pretty much it for the shop system. And we're going to click on the back button at the bottom right. It'll take us back to the main menu. And lastly, we're going to explore the play menu. So we're going to go ahead over there. As you can see, all the game mode options and buttons, they came from the left side, and all this is done through keyframe animation. So I'm going to go ahead through the animation editor to show you what that looks like. So at the beginning of the frame, there's nothing here. As you go in, they'll start to appear. Basically just handling the opacity of all the buttons as they slide in. And they all present it like this. So this is just handling the position and opacity and scale. So I'm going to play that one more time. And that's how it's done. All of these buttons have hover animations. And we're going to go ahead and click on the training button, and it'll take us to a loading screen. So now we're in the training game mode, and we're presented with a select a hero screen over here. And then we have 3 options. So the first is this character, and the second character, and the third character. So the animation just loop around, and the way the animation is done, so if we click on the hierarchy and then look for our heroes, and then so we're going to look at the what I called a boxing hero, and we'll look at the animator. So the first animation is this punching, and then it'll transition to this loop. And this is done the same way for all 3. So if you click on the soldier hero, so first you'll see him do the salute and then the idle animation. So I'm going to click on the second one, which is the soldier hero. So it's doing a salute animation, and then transitions to the idle animation, which then loops. And look at the third one, the sword hero. It's going to draw its sword, and then it will do that loop. So, like so, and then transition to the loop. And we can look at the canvas for the hero select. I'm going to go on scene view. I'm going to focus on it. But we have the title, text, we have a logo for which game mode we're in. And then I made these hexagon portraits in Photoshop. And then you can see they have this loading animation happening. I did that with keyframe animation as well, so you can see all the frames. There are 3 separate circles, just I'm scaling them to 0 and 1 and just handling all of that through the animation editor. Okay, we're going to click on the continue button and we're going to be in the actual game. So we can use this third person starter kit from Unity to just walk around. And I created this main HUD that you see on the screen on Unity. We go to the main interface. So this is all done in camera screen space. The reason I have to do that because we have this particle system happening over here, and you can only view particle systems through screen space camera. We have the hero portrait that I created in Photoshop. Then I used a bunch of rounded squares to create the health bar, just like in Overwatch. And then we have the health counter using text. And then we have the username. In the center, we have the ultimate ability. And on the right side, we have the regular abilities and the weapon. So you'll notice as we go in and out of this room, we can see the change hero button, and the mouse enables and disables as well. So if we click on change hero, it'll present us back to the select a hero screen, and we can just click on continue to go back. This is just a simple on trigger event which checks for the player game object with the tag player, and it'll just enable and disable both the mouse cursor and the change hero button. We can take a look at the on trigger event, which is right here. It is a simple box that surrounds this area. As you can see, the green, sorry about that. As you can see with the green outline. And we also have a pause menu. As you can see, there's a particle system happening in the background. If we look in the scene view, this is all done again through screen space, camera screen space, so that we can look at the particle system happening in the background over here. I'm just going to dock the view so you can see how that looks. We also have a lens flare happening over here, just decreasing and increasing the brightness. So the leave game button will present you with a prompt asking if you want to leave the game. Are you sure? If you press cancel, it'll take you back. If you press the yes button, it will take you back to the main menu, which we'll do in a second. So that's all that I want to show you. And if we click on leave game, click on yes, we're now back into the main menu. So that was everything that I have worked on this Overwatch 2 UI case study. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.